Welcome back, K-drama family, to Drama vs. English. Get ready, because episodes 13 and 14 of My Royal Nemesis are taking us on an absolute emotional roller coaster that will leave you completely breathless. The episode kicks off with immediate, suffocating tension and absolute confusion. Se Gye is completely unable to contact Seo Ri. Her phone is unreachable, and a dark sense of worry grows rapidly inside his chest. When he tracks down her manager to demand answers about her whereabouts, he receives a response that completely chills him to the bone. The manager admits that Seo Ri was never actually safe while she was with him. In that terrifying split second, Se Gye's worst fears are confirmed. Something is seriously, dangerously wrong. Without thinking twice, driven by pure adrenaline and love, he rushes out into the city with only one desperate goal remaining: to find Seo Ri before it is too late. But while Se Gye is racing against time, another deeply emotional and tragic subplot is unfolding on the opposite side of the city. The female antagonist is completely broken, shattered into a million pieces after discovering a devastating truth. Her former lover has completely moved on with his life. Not only has he forgotten her, but he is now with another woman who is currently expecting his child. Her elite pride, her status, and her heart are utterly crushed in one single blow. Yet in true villain fashion, she refuses to let the world see her bleed. She desperately tries to act normal, putting on a cold, elegant mask in front of the public and her peers. Her loyal manager stays glued to her side, working overtime to protect her elite public image and shield her raw, agonizing pain from the ruthless media gossip lines. This contrast between Se Gye's frantic search and her silent heartbreak sets up a beautiful, high-stakes emotional atmosphere for the rest of the episode. Eventually, after a frantic search, Se Gye manages to find Seo Ri and brings her straight to his own private home so she can finally rest, feel safe, and recover from the trauma. The trailer shows us a beautifully quiet, cinematic moment as Seo Ri enters his private world for the very first time. The house is absolutely massive, incredibly peaceful, and designed with high-end aesthetic perfection. As she stands by the massive glass windows, the breathtaking view of Namsan Tower lit up against the Seoul night sky leaves her completely speechless. To make this moment even more emotionally profound, Se Gye walks up behind her and gently, softly confesses a beautiful truth. She is the very first woman he has ever brought into his private sanctuary. It is a rare, vulnerable, and deeply emotional moment between them, proving to Seo Ri just how special and irreplaceable she truly is to his cold heart. But as we know all too well in the world of My Royal Nemesis, true peace is nothing but a fleeting illusion. Soon after arriving, Seo Ri begins to experience strange, terrifying physical and psychological changes deep inside her body. Without warning, floods of old, foreign memories begin to crash into her consciousness, and she starts sensing an unknown supernatural force growing inside her soul. She cannot fully comprehend what is happening to her, and it scares her to her absolute core. Seeing her tremble, Se Gye steps in close, wrapping his arms around her, and quietly, fiercely promising that he will protect her no matter what dark entity or destiny tries to pull them apart.
And then comes the massive cosmic twist that changes the entire trajectory of the drama. A mysterious, radiant star continues to shine unnaturally bright over Seoul's night sky. The character Gwang Nam enters the scene to deliver a chilling explanation. This celestial star is burning out, and it will completely disappear in exactly 15 days. The moment Se Ri hears this ticking clock, she becomes deeply, profoundly disturbed. In her heart and soul, she instinctively connects the star's countdown with her own mortality. She genuinely begins to believe a horrific fate. The exact moment that star vanishes from the night sky, her own life in this world will come to an absolute, tragic end. While Se Ri is dealing with a cosmic death sentence, a massive political shockwave hits Se Gye's elite family. His grandfather finally wakes up from his long-standing medical condition. On the surface, this news brings a massive wave of relief to the family, but underneath, it opens the floodgates to a brand new wave of toxic tension and greed inside the household. Not everyone is happy about the patriarch waking up. Hidden corporate power struggles and inheritance wars begin to violently rise to the surface once again. Because of her deep, paralyzing fear of the 15-day cosmic countdown, Se Ri slowly, painfully starts pulling herself away from Se Gye's affection. even though Se Gye talks about their future with endless hope, even going so far as to excitedly plan a celebration for their upcoming 100th day together as a couple. Se Ri cannot bring herself to mirror his happiness. She quietly, agonizingly carries a devastating secret. She believes she won't even survive long enough to see that future arrive. Inside the corporate empire, things become infinitely more twisted. The grandfather has woken up, but instead of bringing unity, his fragile medical condition is immediately hijacked and manipulated by the ultimate villain, Mun Do. Mun Do uses the grandfather's vulnerability to strengthen his own position within the company, gaining massive executive influence and driving a deliberate cold wedge between Se Gye and his own family members. And if you thought the plot couldn't get any wilder, look at this shocking character revelation from the trailer clips. The local shaman finally breaks down under immense pressure and confesses a hilarious yet terrifying truth. She was never actually gifted with any real spiritual or magical powers. She admits she has been a complete fraud, pretending all along for money, and in reality, she is absolutely, utterly terrified of ghosts. At the exact same time, Se Ri provides an even more complex, mind-ending explanation about her condition. She reveals that her mind is slowly, aggressively mixing with the original memories of the body's actual owner, Ok-sun. She is losing her grip on her own mind, leaving her completely unsure of who she actually is anymore. Is she Se Ri, or is she turning into Ok-sun? The darkness peaks when an unknown stalker writes horrific, hateful words all over the walls of Se Ri's home, proving that she is being actively watched, hunted, and targeted by a very real, dangerous enemy in the physical world. That night, Se Ri is tormented by a horrific, vivid nightmare. The ghost or memory of Ok-sun appears directly in front of her, pointing a finger and viciously accusing her of being a thief, of stealing a life, a body, and a romance that never belonged to her.
The dream feels so hauntingly real that Seo Ri wakes up trembling in cold sweat, emotionally drained and broken. Desperate to escape her own mind, she agrees to go on a quiet, emotional date with Se Gye to a deeply meaningful place, the quiet sanctuary where Se Gye's late mother's ashes are kept. Standing before his mother, Se Gye opens his heart completely, sharing his childhood trauma. He explains how his sick mother once promised she would return for him, leaving him to wait for her for years as a lonely child, never truly understanding that illness had taken her away forever. Deeply moved by his pain, Seo Ri finally gathers the courage to drop her own truth. She softly tells him that one day very soon, she too will have to return to where she originally came from. These words completely break Se Gye's heart. He refuses to accept her departure, begging her to see doctors, to fight fate, insisting he cannot live in a world without her. As the countdown nears its end, the sacrifice begins. Seo Ri quietly prepares for her departure by handing over all her bank savings to her agent, demanding it all be used for her beloved grandmother's urgent medical treatment. Meanwhile, the political war gets incredibly personal. It is revealed that the villain Mun Do has one ultimate weakness, his son, Dal Su. Se Gye's grandfather takes advantage of this weakness, and in a shocking twist, Dal Su completely disappears. Mun Do is thrown into absolute chaos, his corporate confidence transforming into pure, unadulterated fury. This is no longer business, it is a bloody, personal war. But the absolute peak cliffhanger that has everyone talking happens at the fortune teller's house. With her grandmother's health failing rapidly, a desperate Seo Ri begs the fortune teller to save her, screaming that she will pay any price, even her own life. But the fortune teller drops a devastating warning. Saving her grandmother comes with a permanent, horrifying cost. If she accepts the deal, she will never be allowed to return to the modern world again. Instead, she will be ripped away from Se Gye and trapped in the ancient Joseon Era forever, with absolutely no way back. The preview ends with Se Gye finally finding her, pulling her into a tight, desperate embrace, as if he is holding on to her very soul. Seo Ri looks into his eyes and makes her final choice. She states that she is done running. Her heart belongs in the present, with him. But with Mun Do's men closing in, her grandmother fading, and the 15-day star disappearing, every single choice means losing something precious. Will Se Gye defy time itself to save her from the Joseon trap? What are your wild theories about Dal Su's disappearance? Drop your incredible predictions in the comments section below. If you loved this massive detailed breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Drama vs. English, and turn on that notification bell so you never miss the epic conclusion of My Royal Nemesis. Thank you for watching, stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.